Hey there, racing fans. Welcome back to another exciting episode here on Seneca Racing. I'm Giovanni, and today, we have some hot topics to discuss about the world of Formula One. We're diving deep into Aston Martin's ambitious development goals, the latest news on Red Bull's lineup, and what all this means for the 2025 season. So buckle up, hit that like button, and let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with Aston Martin. We all know that the correlation between wind tunnel data and actual on-track performance is absolutely crucial. Teams rely heavily on simulations to ensure that their cars perform as expected on race day. However, since 2022, many teams have struggled with this correlation, and Aston Martin is no exception. Enter Andy Cowell, the new boss at Aston Martin, who is setting some bold targets for the team. He wants to increase their research and development success rate by at least 20%, a massive goal in such a competitive environment. The team is investing heavily in advanced infrastructure, including cutting-edge CFD simulations and a brand new wind tunnel. Their ultimate aim? Achieve a 90% data correlation rate, which is considered the benchmark for championship-winning teams. But here's the catch: despite all this investment, Aston Martin has struggled to maintain their initial pace throughout a season. They start strong but tend to fade as the year progresses. If they can hit that 90% correlation mark, they'll have a much better shot at avoiding these issues. Just look at McLaren. Over the past 2 seasons, they've had one of the most stable development trajectories, whereas teams like Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari have all had their fair share of struggles. Now, let's talk about the upcoming 2025 season. According to Adrian Newey, who's now with Aston Martin, teams are reaching the limits of ground effect development. That means the margin for improvement is getting smaller, and the risks are getting bigger. One major concern is porpoising, a problem that rocked the 2022 season. Teams now have 2 choices: play it safe and make minor adjustments, or push the limits and risk severe aerodynamic instability. Imagine a car with fluctuating downforce. It could feel great in one sector and then suddenly lose grip in another, making it unpredictable and even dangerous for drivers. Back in the 70s, teams used side skirts to stabilize ground effect aerodynamics, but today's regulations don't allow them. That means teams need to be even more precise with their wind tunnel and CFD data to avoid disasters on track. Moving on to Red Bull. According to Racing News 365, Yuki Tsunoda has officially been named the team's reserve driver. This means he'll still race for Racing Bulls, formerly AlphaTauri, but if anything happens to Verstappen or Ricciardo, he's the first in line to step up. Now, some people see this as a consolation prize for Tsunoda. After all, he outperformed his direct competitors, Ricciardo, Lawson, and even De Vries, yet still didn't get the Red Bull seat for 2025. Red Bull seems to believe Lawson has a higher long-term potential, but does that mean Tsunoda was overlooked? Let us know what you think in the comments. That said, this could be a golden opportunity for Tsunoda. If he gets the chance to jump into a Red Bull seat and puts in strong performances close to Verstappen's level, he might just prove he deserves that spot. He's already said that the Red Bull car suits his driving style perfectly, and his test results have impressed the team. If he gets his shot, it's game on. Speaking of Red Bull, their 2025 car, the RB21, has officially passed FIA crash tests. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that a given? Don't all cars pass these tests? Well, yes, but here's why this is significant. Last year, Red Bull initially failed the crash tests, which cost them valuable time. Having to rework a chassis at this stage can lead to increased costs, last-minute design compromises, and less time for refinement before preseason testing. This year, however, they nailed it on the first try, meaning they're on schedule with no setbacks. And from what we've seen, it looks like all teams have passed their crash tests without issues. That's great news because it means every team is heading into 2025 with a solid foundation. The real test, though, will come when the cars hit the track in Bahrain for preseason testing. So, what do you think? Can Aston Martin finally break through and become a consistent top team? Is Tsunoda getting a fair chance, or did Red Bull snub him? And will 2025 be the most competitive season yet? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to Seneca Racing, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes content, and stay tuned for our next deep dive into the world of F1. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep racing, and stay fast.